Do you feel any pressure to win one early on? If yes, why? And if no, how have you gotten to that place where you don't feel pressure?
No, yeah, I don't. Again, it goes back to like I think if you fall into this energy, especially as a young coach, of like, hey, I've got to prove myself and I've got to do this or do that. You can really fall into this like being really desperate and getting away from the things that are actually really important in how we do things from a process standpoint. And so, no, I don't feel that way, and I think it's really helped for me to be a part of this program and with Mike for all these years, and in a program that's been, yeah, people talk about and a lot of eyes on us. And so to get that kind of experience has been so helpful for me as a young coach and dealing with external pressure, external expectation. I think I've really learned how to handle that a lot, and yeah, I'm probably not going to be perfect, and I'm going to have my slip ups, and I'm going to have my doubts, and so for me, it's really important to have really good people around me and make sure I go to them. And from a systematic standpoint and how I work as a young coach, like to rely on that and be like, hey, I don't need to just go do this alone or prove myself and make it about my ego or what other people think. Like that's a trap. And so I'm going to care about the people that I trust, and just try to focus on our athletes. And yeah, we don't have to go win anything to validate that like Jarred Cornfield's a good coach. I care about what our athletes say and what our athletes think, and that's where I'm gonna place my focus.
So good. So good. You mentioned the aspect of athletes wanting to, you know, wanting to leave them better than you found them, essentially. And I think I've talked to you as well as other coaches about almost the emotional process that inevitably happens when you get an athlete as a young 18-year-old and they leave you as a mature 22, 23-year-old, and you have all those experiences with each other, all that personal growth within sport. And I know a lot of times that can be a hard process for a coach. For you, I know you've experienced that numerous times with numerous athletes. In a different way, that'll sort of happen with Coach Smith. What's your mindset as you think to him leaving? Obviously, staying in town, which I'm sure helps, but him leaving the program, what do you feel like is the impact that he's left on it? Obviously, we could be here all day listing the
Mm.
numerous accolades and all the things that have come with it, and statements from athletes that they've made about him, and the ways that he's impacted their lives. But what do you feel like is the tangible impact that Mike Smith has left on the program? And do you get emotional at all thinking about the torch that he's passing on, and even just this incredible friendship that has been born out of your relationship with him?
Yeah, yeah. And I will give that man credit and praise for the rest of my career. Like the impact that he's had on me personally is just like more than words can describe. But yeah, like people, you know, what what I what I love so much about him is, yeah, his just in his ability and his passion for taking care of people. And yes, like he's one of the most competitive people I know. He's one of the like he yeah he has that like fire that I think you need to have to be a really competitive coach. And that's really really important. But that's not like in this like at the expense of like relationships or connecting with people or loving people. Like he's not blinded by it. And so that like really cool balance is so incredible to watch and to learn from. And I mean, you can ask so many NAU athletes that are in our program or have gone through our program, or the professional athletes he's coached, like the time and resources and energies that he's given to just like listening and giving yeah, such amazing like life advice, and while also just like never wavering from holding this really high standard because he believes in people. Like you don't yeah, it's easy to hold a high standard for people you believe in. It's hard to hold a high standard for people who really aren't invested in it or don't have passion or don't believe in it. And so really helped, like he's helped people to really see that in themselves and believe that in themselves and foster that. And then what's possible with not only their running but just their growth as people, that's what I've seen in so many of these relationships with him as a coach, to these athletes. And so his impact is just massive. I mean, obviously, like, you know, the notoriety that's come to NAU and the championships and Olympians and there's been a lot of really really cool things, but that wouldn't be like what I list first. I think those things are amazing and should be pointed out and are spectacular and special. But um, yeah, I'm never. I'll give him credit for so much the rest of my career, and I'm happy to do that and excited to do that because that's the real experience that I've had in working with him and how he's treated me and how I've seen him treat our athletes. And so I'm really excited for this next chapter for him. It's like sad that like this really special chapter for us is coming to an end. But like we talked about with chapters, like you want to be excited for the new chapters, and this next one for him is so exciting, and I'm so excited, pumped for him, and gonna be just like his biggest supporter and biggest fan. And I'm sure we're gonna continue to collaborate in our relationship and help each other grow. And um, yeah, that part of it is something I'm really excited about. And yeah, and he's someone like, I know you've had Milt on the podcast and their relationship and like and so like his ability, right? Like and I had a great conversation. I was on the phone with Milt, and he's been such a great resource for me. And our careers are kind of paralleled a bit, and we both have 4 kids and he's been such a great resource for me. But I remember talking to him and something that we were talking about after yeah, it was early fall last year. And so this news had come out and he knew about it and all those things. And um yeah, like he's so competitive. Mike's so competitive. Like these high level coaches are like they want to kill each other. And I'm like, and we had this said something like I was just kind of praising him for what he's doing at UNC right now and built that program. But and he was like, yeah, we're coming after you. And I was like, good, keep coming after us because I'm gonna keep coming after you. Like it's just like awesome, like man, respect amongst like people and these coaches you can learn from, but at the same time holding this like really high competitive standard against each other, while there being that mutual respect. And so like Mike and Milt have had such a great relationship in that way, and been a great example for me. And Mike and I have going to continue to have such a great relationship. And so those are the things that are really special in our sport that are really yeah, that I really hold on to and want to keep growing. And you know, these coach relationships are really special to me. And yeah, I've developed some amazing relationships with other college coaches that we're all trying to beat each other so bad, but we're also like helping each other out too, because this sport is hard. And what we do is really hard. And so this camaraderie and this like understanding of what we do and encouragement is amazing. And I, yeah, have such a special relationship with Mike. His impact on this program will never ever go away. Everything that I do in this program, the success that we have, he's going to have a hand in. And I'm going to be excited to celebrate those things alongside with him, even though he's going to be not here in the specific trenches anymore.